Welcome to Presentation Hall of Warren County. I'm your host, Jane Baduini. I'm a graduating theater studies major with double minors in musical theater and communications. On behalf of the School of Communication and Media, I would like to welcome you to the 2020 Scholar and Production Awards. This is a unique and special evening. In the past months, we've discovered new ways to learn and new ways to teach. We found new ways to solve communication problems and how to adapt to new social standards. Most importantly, we've learned how to take care of loved ones and have grown a greater compassion for others. Unfortunately, some of us have seen family and friends fall to the virus and even pass away. For those, our hearts are heavy and our love goes out to you. Some of life's most joyous occasions have been canceled or at least put on hold. Graduations, weddings, proms, sports seasons, and even just getting together with friends. But during this time, students continued studying, writing, producing, and editing. Many of you used your media production skills to examine our difficult social situation and provide insight to the new global paradigm. Your stories are insightful, sad, uplifting, and emotionally charged. They show us all sides of the human condition. They reinforce the power and purpose of journalism, media, and film production. Tonight, we are here to celebrate and recognize the outstanding scholarship, production, reporting, and communication work completed over the past year by the students of the School of Communication and Media. To get the evening started, let me introduce the Director of the School of Communication and Media, Dr. Keith Strudler.
Greetings, all School of Communication and Media students, faculty, staff, family, and friends. I am thrilled to be with all of you on this exciting evening, where we celebrate the amazing work that you've done this year. Our school is a special place where students and faculty work together on everything from films to news to sports media to scholarly research to campaigns and competitions. It's dynamic and complex and messy, and all the things that lead to creativity and collaboration, two cornerstones of our collective disciplines, and perhaps the two most important skills you'll take into our evolving professional industries. So to all who are recognized tonight, and to all who aspire to your best work, I congratulate you and encourage you to keep striving. Now, I will state the obvious. These are not exactly normal times. We've moved quickly from a community that gathered in studios and lecture halls to one sequestered in our own homes. We've changed from hovering over a camera on location to using an iPhone alone in your backyard. We live in a time where a computer is your classroom and Zoom is your control room. And that might seem like a great disappointment, and perhaps even a setback in your education. But I'd suggest it's entirely the opposite, as strange as that might sound. This crisis isn't simply temporarily changing the world of communication and media. It's expediting permanent change that was coming, although not with such speed and impulse. Because of our physical isolation, we've started using technology that only months ago we assumed unusable, leveraging platforms most of us either never heard of or at least never considered. But necessity is the mother of invention, which is why the work you're doing right now, together, alone with your classmates and professors, this isn't simply a substitute. This is a step into the future, where professionals take advantage of nimble tools to tell creative stories, where the only barriers are your imagination and a thirst to succeed. So while this semester certainly isn't anything we'd ever want, and the human tragedy is cruel and heart-wrenching, know that the immediacy of innovation may be exactly what we as communication professionals actually need. So with the can-do spirit that exemplifies the School of Communication and Media at Montclair State, I salute you and am humbled by your outstanding work and perseverance. Continue to work through these difficult days. Be there for your friends and family, and take care of yourselves. And with that, enjoy the rest of this exciting evening.
Thank you, Dr. Strudler.
In recognition of the impact that the coronavirus has had on the MSU community and their families, production students have created a series of video essays. These are stories of who we are and what we value. Here is the first in a series of short video essays produced by SCM student Melanie Ruddock.
Hi, my name is Melanie Ruddock and I'm a student at Montclair State University. So Corona has not been kind to anyone. I think the scariest part for me and for a lot of people is just the fact that we don't know when this is going to end. It has come to the point where in my house we've put up signs reminding, ourselves to wash our hands. When I went to Walgreens the other day, there's stickers on the floor now that tell us where to stand so that we're, a good distance apart from the person in front of us waiting online. So through all this crazy, me, my sister, and my mom have found a way to kind of help and keep sane. We've actually began to make masks. Because this is something that is going on for so long, we decided that, we need to make a mask that we can reuse and have for as long as this lasts. So we began creating masks, or I should say my mom really began looking up how to make masks. She found a couple of ways, some better than others, so she began tweaking it. And we've been just giving it out to our family members, friends, just making as many as we can to give away, because once we're done, giving it to our immediate family members, we're definitely going to try to give it to as many people as we can so we can help stop the spread and also just help people who might not have access to masks. It's been really tough staying in quarantine. It's not easy, but having something to kind of get our minds off of it has been nice. It's a terrible situation, but it really does make you appreciate, your friends, your family, being able to just go outside. I can't wait for this all to be over. I'm sure there's not a single person who likes that this is happening, but all we can do is just do our part, stay quarantined, stay 6 feet apart, or however many feet it is now, wear your masks, and stay safe.
Sound design sets and shapes the mood of every production. Whether it's dialogue, music, or sound effects, it's all in the mix. And this year's Excellent in Sound Design Award goes to Alyssa Nogle, Sam Carlino, and Ben Petruk. We're going to show a clip from Friday the SMTth.
It's me, the narrator who hasn't spoken for a few scenes. As Nick and Haral headed back to the house, the killer was also on his way back to finish off the remaining SMT members. Little did he know that they were preparing for his arrival.
And today we have Sam and Alyssa, so welcome, congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So what was it like collaborating with each other?
It was, I can say for myself, it was great. I think both of us very much had different strengths going into this project. I was more of the dialogue, writing, and sort of directing role, and then Alyssa is actually the one who does the sound design. But there was a lot of, I think, collaboration on both ends, and I think altogether it's just we complemented each other's strengths pretty well.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Honestly, I couldn't do my part if it wasn't for Sam. Without his work, it couldn't have been my work. It's his idea of his vision. And without that and me constantly questioning how he wanted everything to be done, it was me pretty much bringing his vision to life.
Gotcha.
But also, as much as it was my vision, no way it would have sounded as good if I was the one editing it.
Modesty, I like it. So what do you guys like most about audio and sound design?
Ooh. I think my favorite thing is being able to kind of just manipulate it and make it the way that you want it, because I think both of us knew what we were doing in terms of this whole radio drama, but we probably both had different ideas of how it was going to sound. And I took it from the way that I thought it was going to sound, and at the same time he was probably thinking of something else, but in the end we both really were happy with the product that came out in the end. So I like how we can take each other's visions into our own perspective, I guess, if that's the right word. Just because that's all I can say. I lost my train of thought.
Very good.
I think for me it's a lot of it's a great format for creativity and independence. I've worked in various formats like print, TV, communications, and audio. I think it's one where it's just you really can go anywhere with it. It's very much of a, what do you want to do? All right, figure it out, and just very fluid paths to go with it.
Gotcha. Very cool. Is there anyone you guys like to thank while you're here?
If I could start off with Ben, because since he can't be here, he said he's very honored and extremely humbled to be a recipient of this award. His whole part in this whole thing is creating the song at the end of the drama. So I'm sure he would like to thank everyone as part of the radio station for helping put this together.
I don't know if you wanted to.
No, you can go.
I'd like to thank also just the entire cast of the radio drama, because it was a big one. It's called Friday the SMTeenth because we got basically every single person from the student management team to at least have some role in it. And then we also got a few general members to play parts, and it was very much of it was just awesome having so many people willing to take time out of their day and read lines and reread lines sometimes to make this really come to life. So we couldn't have done that without everyone who participated in it.
Awesome. Well, thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I also I wasn't sure if I was going to say to Alyssa, but I also want to thank, of course, Annabella Poland, the general manager of the station, faculty advisor, who none of the radio station and everything that comes out of it would not be here without her. So I want to especially give her like a big final thank you.
Sure. I'm sure she'll appreciate that. So thank you for squeezing that in. Well, thank you guys so much for being here, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
You too.
Excellence in Communication and Media Arts is an award that celebrates understanding what media does and what media means. This year, the award goes to a student who has meaningfully answered both questions, helping us to both understand and explain what media is. Our winner is Sandra Lavin. Sandra is a senior communication and media arts major and business minor. Apart from academics, Sandra is a student success fellow for University College, helping pre-major students, secretary of Montclair State's Public Relations Student Society of America chapter, and a corporate communications intern at Becton Dickinson, a medical technology company based in Franklin Lakes, New Jersey. After graduation this May, she will be transitioning into a full-time role at Becton Dickinson as a communication specialist in their corporate communications department. So please help me welcome and congratulate Sandra. Sandra, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. So why did you decide to go into communications?
I really like how broad of a field it is. It's really important to be able to communicate with a lot of different people, whether it be feelings or a message. It's so important in our everyday lives.
Yeah, definitely. Have you felt Montclair has prepared you for a professional career?
Yeah, definitely, especially with the major in communication and media arts. I really feel like I got a great range of experience, whether it be in film, TV, public relations. I really have like a very broad understanding now of the different aspects of communication.
Absolutely. Is there anyone you'd like to thank while you're here?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my PRSSA chapter, Professor Weir, all the professors from the School of Communication and Media. I just really want to thank them, especially in my senior year. And with my time being cut so short, just really everyone that I've come across in the department has been so helpful and great, and have given me a great experience over my 4 years.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here. Congratulations again on your award.
Thank you.
Production designers have a key creative role in the creation of film. Working directly with the director and cinematographer, a production designer is the person responsible for the visual look of the production. This award recognizes the student with a high level of creativity and skill involved in designing, producing, and executing the visual concept of a film.
And the award goes to Ryan Daniel. Here's a clip from his video, Infected.
What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be going to the shelter?
Get back in your room and
and close the door.
Wait, but you're supposed to be going now, aren't you?
Jimmy, please.
No, you need to leave now.
Now, Jimmy!
Ryan, thank you for being here today.
Thank you, thank you.
So, how did you get started in film?
High school, I took a film class freshman year. I thought it would be fun. You know, I always made small little stupid YouTube videos. And but that was the class that actually got me serious about it. And so I worked really hard through high school.
Do you have a favorite movie?
The Dark Knight.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good choice. Before we go, is there anyone you want to thank or any last regards you'd like to make?
I mean, obviously my whole cast and crew of Infected, the movie. And Nora Shavushin, who was my production design teacher. Same semester I made the movie, she looked at some pictures, she gave me some tips and helped me out. And so I wanted to thank her especially.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, and thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much.
This next video essay is produced by Nicole Romaine.
The coronavirus pandemic has forced students around the globe to adapt to online learning. For some, this transition is simple. But what about students that depend on hands-on experience?
Click measure blood pressure.
I need to check your blood pressure. You will feel tightness around your arm as I inflate the cuff.
So obviously I can't physically put the blood pressure cuff on, which is not effective for me. I simply just click a button.
My sister, Erica Romaine, is a junior nursing student at the University of Delaware. Along with the stress of living in quarantine, she is also worried about the shift to online learning.
It just had me feeling very overwhelmed and stressed out because the thought of doing any nursing skills via a website or online and not in person is very scary to me. And I think it's very detrimental in our career and learning. If we were under normal circumstances, we would be going to class every day. We have a specific building for labs, in-person labs that we would do about 1 to 2 times a week. Very hands-on. We have dummies that we use. They have real pulses and heart rates and respiratory rates, and they also talk to us, so it is very real.
Hi, I'm Amy. I'll be your primary nurse today.
So I'm obviously Amy for the simulation.
The in-person labs have been replaced with virtual simulations.
I would ask the patient if they have any pain. I would make them give me a scale. So.
Do you have any pain?
No, I don't have any pain.
It definitely does make it a lot harder though because you're losing that one-on-one patient contact in person, so it doesn't feel as real.
Despite these challenges, Erica is finding ways to learn.
I think that being able to physically witness this pandemic going on right now is a very big learning experience for me as a future nurse, in that I get to see how nurses currently are going about this pandemic, and I think that I'll take those skills that they're doing right now with me for if we ever have a future pandemic. I'll have a better understanding of what to do. Being able to kind of adjust to the new normal is going to help me both in education and in future careers, because in nursing, nothing is set in stone, nothing is written. There's no simple answer for things.
Even during a pandemic, Erica is determined to learn and grow.
The thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. It's all covered by sports journalists. The Red Hawk Sports Network came to life this year, led by students who are passionate about the games and those who play and coach them. The winner of Excellence in Sports Journalism is Jared Alvarez. Here's a clip from an episode of Red Hawk Spotlight.
But it was the best decision for me and my family, and just really excited to see what we can do here.
Now, coming with you, you have 2 out of the 3 assistant coaches. Talk about, coming to a new environment and having guys surrounding you that you already know.
Yeah, it obviously makes the transition a little bit easier. The best thing for a head coach is to have good assistants. They make me look a lot smarter than I actually am.
Congratulations and welcome, Jared. Jared, thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much. I'm really humbled and privileged to receive this award. I know there's a lot of great people, especially in the SEM building, that do such amazing and beyond work. So I'm very privileged to win this.
So how did you get involved in sports on campus?
I want to say through, first of all, the WMSC radio. Annabella Poland runs it. Tyler Monahan, a great friend of mine, Jack Bartek, they really brought me in And they just, any way I could help, any pregame, halftime, postgame shows, along with broadcasting, that's where I started. And then one of my professors, Kelly Whiteside, she was like, why don't you get involved with the MacLelland? So I started writing for the MacLelland, and that's been a great experience. And she put me with the internship to be the social media intern for the men's basketball team. And once again, like, I'm just grateful for her and grateful for, everybody that's helped me, get along this way. And it's been really fun senior year so far.
That's awesome. Have you felt like these experiences have prepared you for the professional world?
100%. I didn't realize how in depth it goes to running a social media account, making sure, the Instagram is up to date, the Twitter is up to date. And the most important question is, how do we get the followers like intrigued and, wanting to keep coming back to our page? And I felt like going through those, there were some obstacles going through them. It was kind of tricky, but at the end of the day, my goal was, the basketball team is already incredible, great group of guys, and the team itself. But my goal was to, just make them look even better on social media and stuff like that. So I'm privileged. By the end of the year, I asked the coach, I was like, did I do a good job? And he said, yeah, I did great. So I'm very privileged to, get that off and, do a good job for them, because that's all I wanted to do.
That's great. That's awesome. Any professors you want to thank?
Definitely. Kelly Whiteside from Starters, she put me on this, and I really look up to her in terms of her career. Professor Gant for always wanting to push me, and, how great do I want to be and how successful do I want to be. Stacy Gitlin for teaching me the editing skills. Without her editing and without her guidance, I would not be anywhere near the social media intern. And it was great learning from her. And lastly, Annabella Poland. She got me to understand the importance of a voice and how it can convey the message on air. It's different doing radio because you have to kind of picture everything, kind of have to paint a picture for the crowd. And learning from her and learning from the people at SEM have been, I thank them so much.
That's awesome. I'm sure they'll appreciate hearing that. Well, thank you so much for being here, Jared, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Cinematography is the science or art of motion picture photography by recording light, either electronically by means of an image sensor or chemically by means of a light-sensitive material such as film stock. This award recognizes students with the skill and vision to put the picture up on the screen and turn that science into feelings. Our recipients this year are Andrew Sokorl and Michael Runzinski. Here's a clip from their film, Threads.
Dang it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Don't
I'm
be.
sorry.
Don't be.
I'm sorry.
Thanks for lunch.
Congratulations and welcome, Andrew and Michael. Hi guys, thank you for being here.
How you doing?
Thanks for having me.
So, what do you guys like most about cinematography?
Well, for me, my basis is a writer, so I always try to envision what my film is going to look like before anyone else. So when I had the initial idea, I try to think, how could I visually express this idea I have, and then try to come up with the coolest way possible for me.
Awesome. Michael, what about you?
I just like making like just conceptual visuals and just like visuals that can evoke some sort of feeling while still like being flexible and like trying to get Andrew's look and my look like put together, I guess.
Gotcha. Was there any particular inspiration behind this project?
For me, there was just a little thing I was working with. It's one of my favorite films. It's called Dinner for Schmucks. It for those of you who don't know, is Steve Carell plays this character who, the minor thing I stole from that was he like he's a taxidermy, so he makes like works of arts with dead mice, and the way he kind of like the close-ups on hands and like the real fine detail to what he was crafting, I liked that aspect of it. So a lot of that I hope like would come through when I made the film, and then I saw that it did, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. So
very cool. Michael, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, this was Andrew like wrote and directed it, and I would input my ideas when I felt like they were like necessary, but I really just tried to be as like flexible as I could to like make sure what he wanted portrayed was portrayed.
Great. Is there anyone you guys want to thank while you're still here?
Yeah, I'd like to thank, for me, I want to thank people that helped me along, the whole process, especially the writing process, because writing a film, feature length or short, you go through the ups and downs. You question if you want to still make it or not. So I want to thank my immediate family, parents and sister, and my best friend Brooke Pulowski, who helped me like find my vision again, and then my screenwriting professor I had at the time, Susan Skoog. And then just all thanks to cast, crew, grandparents who let me use their house for a lot of the locations, the one pet shop that we're able to use, and really everyone that was involved.
Awesome. Michael, anyone you'd like to thank?
Just Andrew and Brooke mainly, just for just giving me a shot, because I haven't like shot too many things. So like Andrew's film was, I think, like the second or third film I shot. So I just thanks to you and Brooke too.
Awesome. Very cool, you guys. Well, thank you for being here. Congratulations again. On-air talent are the face of every production. The best performers exude confidence, have a vast amount of knowledge, and are quick on their feet for whatever challenges come their way. The winner is Grace Rowland. Here's a clip from News Lab interview of Hallie Jackson.
I'm Grace Rowland. Each week, we scour campus, Montclair, and New Jersey to give you news and stories we'll be talking about all week. At the top of our show, an insider's look into what it's like covering Donald Trump and our current White House. Recently, NBC News' chief White House correspondent and MSNBC anchor Hallie Jackson visited Montclair State to receive the School of Communication and Media's annual Dumont Award for Broadcaster of the Year.
Congratulations and welcome, Grace. Grace, thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Sure. So what do you like most about hosting?
I really like the kind of pressure it gives to you have to read the teleprompter, listen to what's going on in your ear, be aware of, the cameras and everything like that.
So how'd you get started in working in front of the camera?
In high school, we did a little bit of a small news show that would go in the morning, and I would sometimes host that. But when I got thrown into News Lab my freshman year, I decided I'd audition to be one of the anchors, and I got it.
Is there anyone you'd like to thank for this award?
I'd definitely like to thank Professor Efron and Professor Gant and my co-anchor from News Lab, Carly Henriquez, because they all really helped me become the anchor
Awesome.
I was.
I'm sure they'll appreciate the shout out. Well, thank you for being here, Grace, and congratulations again on your award.
Thank you so much.
This next video essay is produced by Zeke Del Rosario.
As we all know by now, we're currently facing something bigger than just our daily or regular problems, the coronavirus. It truly changed the way all of us live in society. The virus has infected millions of people around the world, which forced people to be quarantined inside their own homes. For me, this was a whole different experience. Since I didn't want my family to get infected, I didn't leave my house at all. Not being able to go to places and meet up with people, it was such a different feeling. So it came to a point where I just became uninterested and super lazy. All I would do was watch TV and play video games until 3 a.m. Then the morning after, I would just feel so unmotivated to go to online class. But there are two things that keep me sane through this pandemic we're going through right now. And it's my family and my prayer life. When things got rough, the simple things in life like cooking, eating, watching shows together made me feel like everything was going to be okay. But my faith was the center of it all. Being able to lift up all my problems to the man above is such a calming and relaxing experience for me. But to also pray with other people, like my family, makes the moment more incredible. It reminds me to always have hope, faith, and love in any type of situation.
The study of communication challenges us to see more than just words and images. It forces us to consider what those words and images represent. This year's recipient of the Excellence in Communication Studies lives up to the ideals of this award. This year's winner is Molly Brawley. Before enrolling at MSU, Molly attended Florida Atlantic University. When she learned about the amazing School of Communications at MSU, she transferred and moved back home to New Jersey. She will graduate in December 2020 and plans a career in corporate public relations. She would like to work for an outdoor lifestyle or agriculture company to combine her personal interests with her professional skills. Congratulations and welcome, Molly.
Thanks, I'm so excited.
So, how did you get into PR?
So I took a PR principles class with Bon Benton actually last semester, and I was really interested by it. He was a great teacher, and I had a lot of fun coming up with campaigns for clubs on campus.
Awesome. So what do you like about it?
I like the creativity it allows me to have, and I also love writing, so it kind of blends the two together.
Yeah, definitely. So anyone you'd like to thank while you're here?
I'd like to thank Joel Penny for assigning me the Visco Girls topic and all of my professors at Montclair. They've all been really great and have helped me so much in my communication skills.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, Molly. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much.
Film editing is often called the invisible art. The goal of most editors is to create a seamless, finished product with no trace of their tampering. In reality, their fingerprints are all over the final film. The film editor selects shots and sounds, builds sequences, and crafts a finished motion picture. This year, this award is shared between Molly St. Louis and Leilani Brady, along with the Award for Excellence in Directing. A film director is the driving creative force behind the image of a film. She or he controls the film's artistic aspects while guiding the technical crew and actors in the fulfillment of that vision. This award honors the students who are able to wear all of these hats at the same time, yet still maintain grace under fire and lead others in creating their own unique vision. This year, we have the two winners, Leilani Brady and Molly St. Louis. Here's a clip from Leilani's Utica Ave and a clip from Molly's film, The Bracelet.
Shorty, you a bye-bye, I don't got no...
Leilani and Molly, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Molly, how does it feel to win this award?
Feels excellent. You know, I am starting a new career after being an older learner and coming back to school and completely making a career change was a little nerve-wracking. And it feels really good to be here and be with this other very talented editor and director. So thank you.
And Leilani, for you, how does it feel to win?
Yeah, it feels really nice. I was pretty proud of my film when I made it, but like I feel like this was definitely like good validation that like the idea was pretty good and like the concept that I had was pretty good. So it's really cool that people like enjoyed my work.
Leilani, how long have you been involved in making films?
Well, I've been doing it. I just graduated from Montclair State in January. So I've been doing it for about 4 years because I was studying filmmaking. So I graduated with a major in filmmaking. So I would say that I was definitely doing it for about 4 years, but I always had an interest in it. And I feel like college definitely gave me that push to really like dive into it and learn all the ropes professionally and things like that.
Molly, how long have you been into making films?
Well, I used to be an actor, so I went to school for the first time a long time ago. It was for I was an actor, and then I went into writing, so I'm a media writer now, and I had not done any kind of technical side of film other than like producing, like being a production coordinator, being a stage manager, things like that. And so this was a learning curve for me, because it was having to learn technology when I used to be scared to pick up a camera. So so now it's good to be here and be on the other side of it and kind of like not be terrified of technology. It's good.
Thank you so much for joining us. Molly, is there anyone you want to thank?
Yes, I'd like to thank my cast. My cast is awesome. One of them, my husband's in it, and my niece especially, but the other actors were amazing, and they made the directing easy.
Leilani, is there anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, I definitely want to thank my cast, my crew. I want to thank one of my professors at Montclair State, Lisa Raven. She was like the first person to read my script when I first thought of the idea, and she was like, yeah, this is really great, like you need to make this. So I just want to thank her, and she like definitely gave me a lot of advice. So yeah.
Thank you both so much for joining us, and congratulations.
No problem. Thank you.
The Montclair Film Festival connects global filmmakers with audiences in a diverse, culturally vibrant community by presenting films and year-round programs that engage, entertain, and educate audiences of all ages. One of our MSU graduating TDM majors with concentration in documentary production is Mackenzie Robertson. She had her film, 27 Years, A Juvenile Justice Story, accepted for screening in the Shorts program. Let's screen the trailer for her production.
If you had to say anything to yourself when you were 16, what would you say?
That's the most difficult question, because I don't regret anything that I did. I really don't. What I do regret is hanging with the wrong people. So the best advice I could give to myself would be mind your surroundings and choose better friends.
In the 1980s, there was a spike in juvenile homicide rates. Governments across the country responded by increasing juvenile justice laws.
What began to happen is that we just broom swept people into prisons, trying to give them longer and longer sentences.
And here with us today is Mackenzie. Congratulations for being selected for such an honor.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Sure. So how did it feel to have your film in this screening?
It was very, very exciting. I ended up submitting the film in January, and I've been going back and forth with Professor. He has been like a huge help for me in like getting this together and helping me get my film together for the festival. So it was really, really exciting. I found out in the gym locker room and I cried because I was very excited. This is a huge thing for me. It was my one goal to get accepted for screening by the time I graduated college.
Oh, that's so wonderful. So what was the inspiration behind this story?
I have a very strong passion for juvenile justice. I always had. My minor is in Justice and Families. I took a juvenile delinquency course last year, and I learned about Miller versus Alabama, which is a Supreme Court ruling that ruled it cruel and unusual punishment to sentence a juvenile to life in prison without the possibility of parole. And when I learned about that law that was put in place, I was kind of like, I have to make a film about this. And I found my subject, Sam, and he had just been so he was really, really accepting of being in this film and really wanted to learn about kind of his story and helps other kids kind of get to it. So really helped me get inspired to make this film. I just wanted other people to know about how the system is treating our juvenile offenders.
Very cool. Very cool. Is anyone you'd like to thank while you're here?
Obviously, Professor McCarthy. He has been the God sent for me for this film. He has helped me so much, and he has inspired me in so many other ways. And my crew that has helped me, Alexis Spear has been a major help. Russell Sullivan helped me a lot too. And then obviously my mom and dad, and my dad especially, because he put me in contact with Sam because he knew him through a friend. And then we kind of clicked, so everything got put together really well.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again, and thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Between the Montclair News Lab, WMSC, and Carpe Diem, there is no shortage of relevant and relatable stories being offered to students and staff here at MSU. Every day, aspiring journalists and reporters throughout Montclair's School of Communication and Media work hard to deliver the latest breaking news campus-wide and beyond. Speaking of breaking news, the Award for Excellence in Journalism is in, and the winners are Heather Burzak and Lauren Beckles for their article, Vape Crisis Takes Darker Turn into Black Market. And here to accept on their behalf, congratulations and welcome, Heather.
Thank you for having me.
What was your inspiration for this article?
So at the time, I was in Professor Franklin's multimedia news production class, and this was in the fall of 2019. And this was around the time when the vape epidemic was happening. People were becoming hospitalized, and no one knew what the causes were behind why the sudden rise in hospitalizations due to vaping. So we had the choice of picking something that was circulating in the news that we could make a long-term project out of. And to be honest, I used to Juul. And, I say that now, I'm not embarrassed about it, but as someone who's quit, I was very curious about what was going on with this sudden hospitalization rise. So I thought that it was a great idea, and it was something I was passionate in. So I knew I'd really put my mind to this one.
What does being a journalist mean to you?
Being a journalist to me, when we learned our code of ethics, one of the top things we learned was that our job is to bring a voice to the voiceless. And there's so many people in the world that have their own story. Everyone has their own story. And it's up to people like us, it's up to people like journalists to give them that opportunity to tell their stories. And you learn a lot about other people, but you also learn about yourself. And universally, you learn that we're all the same. So that's what's really incredible about being a journalist.
What are you going to miss most about Montclair?
Oh man, I have to pick one thing. Definitely what I'm gonna miss most is I'll have my friends for life, but the bonds I've made with my colleagues throughout this experience, along with the bonds I've made with faculty. All the people that I've met in the School of Communication and Media, I look to in some sort of light as inspiration for a mentorship and just for friendship. And I'm so grateful that I have met all of these people in my life, and I will carry them and their knowledge and inspiration with me wherever I go.
Is there anyone you want to thank tonight?
I definitely want to thank Professor Thomas Franklin for this project, because this was the class that I did the project in, and he made sure to take his time with me and go over one-on-one revisions several times over. And at first that was a little discouraging to hear critique in my work, but when I saw the final product, I knew how rewarding it was to see that I went through all of those revisions, because they were definitely needed. And I really admire that he works really hard with his students to make sure that they do things to the best of their own ability. And I feel so much more confident in myself now that I thought I had a limit and he pushed that limit. And now I know that the sky is the limit. So thank you, Professor Franklin, for all that you've done for me throughout my 4 years at college and for this project.
Any last remarks?
I think really my last remark would be, whatever project you do in a class or whatever you do outside of the School of Common Media, make sure you put your blood, sweat, and tears into it, because when you see what you're capable of creating, you feel so much more confident in yourself, and you feel so much more proud of what you can accomplish, not just here, but in the real world. So definitely try your best in everything you do. And that effort will come back to you in positive reinforcements like this one.
Thank you. Congratulations again. School of Communication and Media students form personal and professional bonds that will last a lifetime. I've invited a student from each major to share memorable moments at a segment we call Life Lessons. Welcome, everyone. Emily, let's start with you.
My favorite memory thus far is meeting my friends in the SEM building. If you know me, you always see me around with all of those girls. But I would say that's my favorite memory, just meeting them and being able to hang out all the time was just amazing. And I'm kind of sad that with the virus, I didn't get to spend this last semester with them because most of them are leaving. But that was just my favorite memory, getting to meet all of them in one class and being with them and learning about them and learning how much they love media as much as I do.
Oh yeah, definitely. The friends at Montclair that I've made, like, best people, absolutely. Katie, what about you?
So one of my favorite memories was over this past winter break, I got to be a part of 2 thesis film sets. And Dylan Kelly and John Kakma's set, and we constructed an entire set in one of the studios over winter break, filmed one film, completely like deconstructed it, painted it different colors, and we filmed like it was a antique toy shop, and then we turned it into a 90 video rental store. So it was complete like 180, and it was so much fun to be a part of the crew and everything, and I loved it so much. I'll never forget that.
Awesome. That sounds super cool. Like, I wish I got to do that. Steven, what about you?
So for me, one of my favorite memories was actually during what sorry, that dog was actually during one of my first colloquiums on campus, and it was one of the alumni ones where all the people graduated who were working, blah blah blah, came back, and I spoke to Raquel Foster from CBSN. And during the panel, she said she was a transfer student and all that fun stuff. And during that time, it was my first semester, and I was kind of like intimidated of everyone else. Like I kind of knew my stuff, or I thought I did, and I didn't know how to use all the new fun toys that Montclair State had compared to my old school. So anytime like anyone, our professor or some type of opportunity would come up, I'd be like, who am I to volunteer? I don't know anything. I'm not good at stuff. So then she spoke to me very briefly about it, and she told me, like, I was a transfer student. I ended up being top of my class, blah, blah, blah. I had all these leadership roles, but that's only because I decided that, no, just go for it. Who cares how long you've been here, how much you think you don't know, just go for it. And I know she probably doesn't remember this conversation, but it was probably something it was something I needed to hear at that time. And then I kind of just jumped into everything, and I think I turned out okay. Could have been worse. So turned out fine.
Great story. I love that. Transferring's so hard. I mean, I totally get it, but that's really awesome that you have that memory. Jared, what about you?
I don't know. There's too many. It's like hard to choose one. Aside from like me and my friends, from speech class, I met Kyler. Didn't know we were going to become best friends, but we did. I feel like one that I'll always remember is what I want to do is be a sports broadcaster, and I know that field is really hard to get into. But recently, Jack Bartek, who's like kind of like the new voice of the sports for WMSE radio, it was like me and him and like a group of 4 others that we like put together this trip to go to the NCAA tournament Division III. And we got to broadcast the basketball game, and it was just like an idea that was just up in the air. And I told Jack, like, I texted him, I was like, hey, are we gonna go to Marymount, Virginia and do this? And he was just like, if you want to, like, we can. And I was like with him every step of the way. He put it all together. But just that trip and to have that experience of just broadcasting a Division III, game like March Madness, which I've admired for so many years, it was kind of like a special moment. And I told him multiple times, I was like, I don't know if I'll ever broadcast another game because of the field is being so difficult, but I'm glad it was like, with a great friend of mine, and I'll always, cherish that moment to my heart closely.
Awesome. Great story. Thank you for sharing. Heather, what about you?
I think it's obvious my favorite memory was joining the Montclarian Through joining the Montclarian, I've made friends that I know I'm going to have for life. I've learned a lot about leadership. I've learned a lot about journalism. I've learned a lot about myself, being part of something bigger than myself. I've gotten internships from doing this club, developing bonds with faculty. There's really no negatives that came out of that experience, and I'm forever grateful to have been a part of that, and I know that my experience there will carry with me wherever I go for the rest of my life.
Lovely, thank you. Sierra, what about you?
So my favorite memory is recently I moderated a colloquium conversation with Leslie Stein from PR Week and Ad Age. And the most rewarding part was moderating alongside my PR SSA sisters that like I've built amazing bonds with, and I've seen them grow from we were freshmen to now seniors. So that was definitely my favorite memory.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for sharing your stories. They were lovely. Screenwriting is not solely about dialogue. In fact, crucial scenes may have none at all. A screenplay is about structure. It contains the armature on which the film can be built. This award recognizes a very talented student with the ability to put words down on the page and conjure up not just images, but emotions. This year's winner, Michael Sano. Here's a clip from his screenplay, The Far West of Wayside.
Where in the hell have you been?
The bar?
For 6 months. You've been at the bar for 6 months.
Sure.
Mom's been worried out of her damn mind.
Where are y'all keeping the Band-Aids?
Congratulations and welcome, Mike. Mike, how are you doing today?
I'm probably just as good as everyone else is right now. So.
I feel that. So, what was your inspiration for this project?
I'm a big fan of Toy Story, and that's kind of inspired everything since. So this is my film too. So I kind of honed in on the cowboy part, and then for my thesis, I'm going to do the spaceman part. I don't know. That was always a big part of the stuff I do.
I love that. I mean, I love the Toy Story movie, so I'm totally with you. What do you like most about screenwriting?
I think there's no limit to the technology or what you need available. You can do it virtually for free. You don't even need a computer. You just need a pen and paper, and you can make anything. So I think like right now, you can't go outside and make things, but now would be the best time to write something. I think the least strings attached to it, and you could do the most.
Absolutely, I'm totally with you. Is there anyone you'd like to thank for this award?
Yeah, my actors were so great. Kate Bursa and Dylan Hoffman. I had the script written, but it changed a lot once I brought them on board, and I think they really helped flesh out the characters way more than I could have on my own.
Well, congratulations, Mike, and thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
When you donate to a charity, retweet a celebrity, buy a burger, or protest injustice, you participate in the dialogue that is public relations. The Award for Excellence in Public Relations honors a student who has done exemplary work to craft that dialogue. This year's recipient is Sierra Cole. Sierra is a graduating senior who currently lives in Branchburg. She's employed as a social media planner at the Sprague Library, utilizing her skills in PR and social media analytics. Her professional career plan is to work in the field of either content creation, community relations, public affairs, or crisis management. She would like to pursue a master's degree in either organizational communications, health communications, or advertising and marketing. Congratulations and welcome, Sierra. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you.
Good. Thank you for asking. So what do you like most about PR?
I would have to say I just love like the strategic planning that goes into it, and I like working with people and kind of like being the problem solver and dealing with like a lot of ethics. But I think, when people think of PR, they don't really know what that means, but I love the aspect of building relationship and working with people. That's what I love about it.
Awesome. So how did you get inspired to go into that field?
It's funny. I started off, as you guys saw, I graduated from Meriden Valley Community College in communications. And then, once making my way to Montclair State, I'm like, I don't want to just stick with communications. I kind of have to branch out, but I want to do something in communications. So I just did a little bit of my research before declaring my major in PR. And I just fell in love with what it was. And I remember my dad was like, that's totally you. And I'm like, I don't know. But then like, once I started taking some classes, I'm like, yeah, I really love it. I just, like I said, love working with people and dealing with a lot of issues that come up in the media and people like not necessarily knowing how to handle it and being able to have fun with that and maintaining reputation and identity.
That's awesome. So anyone you'd like to thank while you're here?
I definitely want to thank my two professors that I've had previously and are still having right now in my last semester, Professor Benton Bond and Professor Larry Weiner. I just heard today via email that they were the two big boosters that supported me in this award. So I definitely want to shout out to them too. And then Professor Namoff, who I'm taking for culture and rhetoric, and just all of the professors that I've come in contact since starting Montclair State.
Sure, they'll definitely appreciate hearing that shout out. Well, thank you so much for being here, Sierra, and have a great day. Congratulations again.
Thank you, you too.
This next video essay is produced by Lucia Gambuza.
Hello, I'm Lucia Gambuza here with my father, Ugo Gambuza. I am currently accompanying him to Kane University to get tested for the COVID-19. Kane University is one of the testing sites, so we will update you on the journey and the steps it takes to get tested. He has a prescription from his doctor, which is the only way you can get tested. We had to call this number that he put up on the window.
Your last name?
My last name is Gambuza, Gambuzza. ZZA.
A. Your first name?
My first name is Carmelo.
We just got through the second checkpoint, which is confirming our information, which was that first tent that we thought. So they just confirmed all the information. They drew a little smiley face on the window. They put all of our information on the door handle of our car. So still to this point, there was no opening of the window at all. And now we're approaching the other set of tents. And here is where the testing happens.
I'll be right back to swab you, okay? Keep the tissue, I'll be right back. A little more? A little more? Tilt your head up, please. It's a little uncomfortable. 5 seconds, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all done. Feel better, all the best. Have a good weekend, guys. Bye-bye.
A film producer is a unique hybrid of business manager and creative force. She or he selects the script, coordinates the entire production, and arranges financing and distribution. This year's winner of Excellence in Producing is Jason Perniciero. Here's a clip from his production of Monin.
Mr. Adams, what are you doing?
Getting my berries.
Okay, why don't you just lay down, all right, and then...
No! It's my berry sex, and I will get it for myself.
Mr. Adams, okay, as your nurse, I am ordering you to lay down.
Dare you order me in my own.
And Jason is also the winner of the Communication Studies Student Choice Award. Welcome, Jason. How does it feel to win these two great awards?
Well, I mean, I'm just so happy that people took a liking to my film and, they connected with it. I mean, that's just the first thing that comes into my mind. As a filmmaker, we want people to like what we make and, to have people, vote on it. And then, all the students vote on it and they chose my film. It's just a huge honor and I'm very grateful for it.
Any hardships or difficulties while making this film?
Oh yeah, there were definitely a lot of hardships. Probably the entire concert scene was the hardest thing to do in the whole film. It was just very hard to, one, record all the music, get a bunch of band members to record the music, and then find more band members to come in so we can film them, find a crew that would work, find a date where the school would let us use one of their theaters, have my actors come in on the same date. So it was just really hard organizing all that. And then if it wasn't hard enough, I had to find a younger looking actor who looked like my older looking actor to play in the scene. And it was insane. But thankfully we got like literally everything we needed to be done in the concert scene, and it came out amazing.
Do you have anyone you want to thank tonight?
Oh yeah, I mean, first and foremost, of course, I want to thank my my mom, my dad, and my brother. You know, I couldn't have done any of it without their love and support. I want to thank all the people who donated and funded this film. You know, it really helped out a lot. And then, of course, I just want to thank my cast, my crew, and my amazing friends. There were so many people who helped me out making this film. Too many people I can even name. There were just so many people who really helped make this come together, and if it wasn't for their love and support, I wouldn't have been able to make this special film. So I want to thank everyone out there. You know who you are.
Thank you.
This next video essay is produced by Jacob Deptula.
It all started 6.5 years ago. We met in class at Catholic University. Lena was a sophomore from Maryland. I was a senior from Jersey. I graduated 4 months into the relationship. We decided to try and pull through a long-distance relationship together, as she will finish school in the next 2 years. We miraculously pulled through, as we managed to find the time to see each other. Once Lena graduated, it became tougher to find time to see each other, as we tried to coordinate our times around our jobs. That all changed when I finally caught a break and found a job in the DC area 4 years ago. Things were going steady, but my job became stagnant and both of us decided to go back to school. It was our second attempt at a long-distance relationship, but the relationship started to crack. School and work took up most of our time. It took a lot of energy just to coordinate when we would visit each other. The cracks were getting wider at the start of 2020, just as the COVID-19 virus started to take hold of the world. On March 11th, the cracks took its toll and we decided to split. In the same week of the breakup, the COVID-19 outbreak shut down all major sports leagues, all non-essential jobs, and forced all college classes to go online. So, on top of losing a girlfriend, I lost my favorite source of entertainment, my job, and my chance to personally console with my friends face to face. Now being isolated from the world, with only my mom with a chronic cough problem, all I can do is be patient and just wait. Just wait for this storm to pass.
The School of Communication and Media prides itself on its necessity for teamwork. When a project arises, you can witness collaborative thinking at an all-time high amongst the students. The Excellence in Production All Media Award distinguishes productions that grant students of all majors the opportunity to integrate and create an atmosphere with no barriers. We have 2 winners this year, Amanda Chipetta and Fritz Batista. First, let's screen an expert from Amanda's program, Yellowstone.
Your mouth will often gape when witnessing the timeless Wyoming landscape. Magnificent mountains, canyons, forests, waterfalls, geysers, and lakes reduce any heartaches. You will wonder at the majesty of it all.
And here's a look at Fritz Batista's digital curriculum guide, Break the System. Congratulations, Amanda and Fritz, and thank you guys for being here today.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Fritz, we'll start with you. What was the inspiration behind this project?
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank you guys for having us. The project, so the project was for our transmedia class, and we are in a group actually, and I was assigned to do the digital curriculum. So my basis for doing that is that I want to help out students, whereas I want to make use of my output for students to understand what institutional racism really, means in today's generation. And I want to make use of that output in order to help out not only our class, but also those who might, view it, I don't know how to say it, but to also help out professors in a way, because the digital curriculum was like an instrument in order to help out people to understand what transmedia really is. And it was a huge thing. It needed more time, it needed more effort, and it also needed the participation of my group, not only me in doing that curriculum. And I think it was successful in a way. I don't know what to say.
No, that's great. I totally get it. Thank you.
My words.
No, you're totally fine. Amanda, what about you? What was the inspiration for this?
The inspiration, okay, so I went to Yellowstone in Wyoming last spring, just on free will. I was a freshman at the time, so I actually went to the project and so when I first started at Montclair, I was a film major, and I made my portfolio on documentary, and I thought that's like what I wanted to do. So I went to Wyoming, and I was like, I'm gonna do a documentary on wolves. And that trip was just so inspirational. I was with some of the best professors and just other awesome students. I could really shoot me working as a team. And when I was there, I just got this feeling of like inspiration. It was so beautiful, and I just want to capture that in my work. So in the Welcome to Yellowstone video, it's very fast paced. You get that same emotion of like, I want to be there. I want to see those like 3 bears crossing a river. It's just, I loved it. That was my inspiration, was to bring the beauty of Yellowstone back home with me and for everyone else that watched it. So.
That's awesome. It's a beautiful park. I haven't been in years, but my goodness, it's gorgeous. Is there anyone you guys would like to thank while you're still here?
For my project, I would like to thank my professor, first of all, Professor Taro. And I also want to give thanks to my group mates, because, they played a big role in it. And when you view the project, on the acknowledgement part of it, you're going to see who my group mates are. They're awesome. And, I just miss them because it's also my last semester now. So.
Amanda, what about you?
Okay, here we go. I would like to thank my parents for even letting me go to Wyoming as a freshman without knowing anyone. Dave Sanders for letting me cry in front of him because I didn't have a documentary, but I made something really, really awesome. And all my group mates, my friend Natoli and Anton and Louise, all those awesome people, great friendships, amazing people, awesome work. So.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you guys both for being here. Congratulations again on your awards. Our next video essay is produced by Max Morrow.
Like many other hospitals around the country, Monmouth Medical Center is no different. Being on the front lines of COVID-19, many of the nurses, doctors, and staff are fighting on the front lines to protect themselves and others against this deadly disease. My mom is no different. She is a surgical technician working at Monmouth Medical Center, and she has been reassigned to the ED COVID-19 tent outside of the facility. She, much like many other people around the globe, are trying to protect herself and loved ones from this deadly disease. My grandfather and her father, Sydney, is in one of the most at-risk age brackets, and I know she is working tirelessly on all of the COVID-19 patients and the patients that come through the door, just like it were him in their shoes.
Okay, hi, I'm Beth Corman, and I am a sterile surgical core tech. But since the COVID-19 pandemic, I now work in the emergency department tent as a runner and an aide, screening all patients and potential patients. I have to tell you that everybody in the hospital, especially the nurses, are they're tired, sometimes a little bit short of patience, very stressed out. It's a different kind of work than we normally do. And it's training and functioning in a way that we're not used to functioning. So it can be very, very stressful because it can be confusing. And it's brand new. And we do all just want to get back to our jobs the way we did them before.
And even while recording this interview, their job never stops.
Medical alert, rapid response team, Green Wall 5.
Some of you may not think it, but I think my mom's a superhero. I haven't seen her in all this time that the quarantine has happened. I miss her, I miss my sister, I miss my dog, I miss my dad, and I miss my grandpa. But one thing never changes. It's how much love I have for her and the rest of my family. Thank you, Mom. I love you.
Okay. All right, baby. Love you.
I love you. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Service is the foundation of all areas of communication, from spreading goodwill about discipline to supporting efforts to better understand it, to feeding innovation activities in the area of communication. Service is at the heart of all we do. The Service to the Communication Area Award goes to Amanda Peacock. Amanda is a senior public relations major. She is an active member in Montclair's chapter of Public Relations Student Society of America and serves as supervisor of membership services. Amanda is a founding member of MSU's student-run PR firm, Hawk Communications. She has completed 2 internships, one working as a content curator for Catch and Release, and a public relations intern for Cooper University Healthcare. She also serves as president of her sorority, Theta Phi Alpha. As she moves towards her professional career, Amanda is interested in the field of public relations and crisis communication. Congratulations and welcome, Amanda. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Sure. So Amanda, why did you want to get started in PR?
So believe it or not, my original ambition back in high school when I was applying for colleges was to be an event planner. I knew I wanted to either be a wedding planner and I had no idea like how to do that. So someone recommended that I go towards the field of public relations. And then the first the first 2 years of my college career had nothing to do with event planning at all, but I was exposed to all of the different avenues of public relations, and I fell in love with it and had no idea the scope of this major, which is so broad. You can go into almost any sort of career field with public relations. So I really fell in love once I actually knew what it was and I knew all the options that were in front of me. But I did start out as wanting to be an event planner.
Awesome. Very cool. So do you feel MSU has prepared you for a professional career in the future?
Absolutely. From my first class freshman year, I was already impressed by the staff at MSU. All of our professors are so amazing, and they have the knowledge and the skill set and the background. They have impressive resumes. So the fact that they're taking that experience that they have in life and they want to give that to students like me is really, really impressive. And that's just, the professors, but Montclair also offers, so many different avenues, like having public relations, Student Society of America, all the beautiful equipment and like studio rooms and things like that in the School of Communication. If you go to Montclair State for any field in the School of Communication, you're really prepared and set for your future.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Is there anyone you'd like to thank while you're here?
Oh man, my parents, obviously, because I would not be able to have made it through college without them. They were the people to instill in me the aspect of service and how important it is to give back in any sort of way. So they were really the people that inspired me, to just help get me through college, but were also the ones to inspire me to give back to my community in any way that I could. So they've both been very inspirational in my college journey.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here, Amanda. Congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
Our next video essay is produced by Jazz Singh.
Living with asthma during the pandemic. People with underlying health conditions are at a greater risk of developing COVID-19. What can we do to fight the virus?
If you're an asthma patient or have a similar respiratory condition, you need to make sure that you're maintaining your health regimen now, because if you aren't and somehow contract COVID-19, your respiratory system will be severely compromised and potentially unable to fight off the virus.
I need to make sure my immune system is ready for the fight. I eat well and take my vitamins. No sugar, dairy, or meat. Plenty of fruits and veggies. I get plenty of rest and take time to meditate because stress will make you susceptible to becoming ill. I make sure I wash my hands as well as sanitize any incoming mail or packages. I wear a mask when I go out, and I make sure to social distance. Doing all of these things will help build my immune system in the event I do get infected. I start my day eating fruits and drinking a kombucha. I take vitamins like vitamin C since it is very helpful for people with asthma. I make smoothies for myself and my family. I'm not only worried about my own health, but my family's health as well. I blend plenty of greens like kale, spinach, along with ginger and turmeric, which are all immunity boosters. After my smoothie, I go for a walk while I socially distance. When I get back, I stretch and do some yoga and meditate. A bath before bed helps to relax the body and mind. I add lavender to the water, which helps me to sleep well for a full 8 hours. My goals are to eliminate mucus and inflammation in the body while I lose weight. I would like to handle stress better since it weakens the immune system. I want to be able to fight not just COVID, but any other illnesses that may come my way.
Our final 3 awards are the prestigious Student Choice Awards. Being recognized by one's peers as a leader requires assertiveness, the ability to collaborate with students, faculty, and staff, and have a dedication that is superior to all. The students recognized have balanced schoolwork and carried the added responsibility of leading an entire teams to success. The Communication Studies Student Choice Award goes to Jason Perniciero. Congratulations and welcome, Jason. How does it feel to be voted Student Choice for Communication Studies?
Oh, I mean, it feels amazing. It's the best thing. It's one thing, it's one thing when it's a couple of judges, but when it's when it's your friends and it's just regular kids who just watched your film and they love it, it means the world because it's just the regular people who you made the film for are really resonating with it. So it just feels amazing. I'm on top of the earth.
Thank you. This year, the Film Student Choice Award goes to Brianna Ryan. Congratulations and welcome, Brianna.
Thank you so much.
So how does it feel to be awarded this award by your peers?
It feels great. I'm so humbled and blessed to receive it, and it's so rewarding to see all my hard work pay off.
Absolutely. So how did you get involved in film?
So I got involved in film. I first started taking elective classes in high school and nothing serious, but then I ended up falling in love with it, and it was something that I knew that I wanted to pursue as my career. So I applied to the BFA filmmaking program here and I got in, and I'm so grateful for that.
Awesome. Is there anyone you'd like to thank while you're here?
Yes, I would love to thank all my professors for all their help, and I would love to thank all my supportive friends for their votes. It really means a lot. Thank you so much.
I'm sure they'll really appreciate hearing that. So thank you so much for being here, Brianna, and thank you again, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
This year, the TVDM Student Choice Award goes to Elena Plumser. Congratulations and welcome, Elena. Thank you for being here.
Hi, thank you so much.
Sure. So what made you want to go into television and digital media?
When I was in high school, I joined some television production classes for fun, just as an elective. But I started to really enjoy it, especially all the technical things. And I found out I could actually do it as a major. So I decided to go to school for it. And I really liked the options Montclair had with their own concentrations. And I just came right into TV when I came here 4 years ago, and here I am.
Awesome. So do you feel Montclair has prepared you for a career when you graduate?
I definitely think Montclair's prepared me because my classes, the professors care so much and they just want to help us succeed. They're more focused on what we do and how that will relate back to us for showing employers or even just skill sets to have while we're at a job instead of focusing on a grade and our GPA being really good. So I definitely think we even have a great career services department that focuses on getting us our internships and job opportunities, having constant career fairs so we can meet employers, just giant networking events to give us more opportunity than ever before.
Absolutely. So is there anyone you'd like to thank while you're here?
Oh, I definitely want to thank the entire School of Communications and Media department, ranging from the people in it of students, but also the faculty, and even everyone in the dean's staff in Moorhead Hall. Each person has played a huge part in helping me grow as a person, but also someone going into the media industry. The entire Montclair News Lab team, the professors, the career services department, dean's office, everybody. They've all been such a huge, tremendous help, and I can't thank them all enough.
I'm sure they'll definitely appreciate hearing that. Well, thank you so much for being here, Elena. Congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
Our final video essay is produced by Dylan Hoffman.
The coronavirus crisis, as I'm sure most people are aware, is truly unprecedented in the way that it's impacted everyone because of just that. It's impacted literally everyone. And though it's had more negative effects on every aspect of life than it has had positive, I prefer not to dwell on the bad news as much as I possibly can. That's why with all of this craziness going on, I've been spending a lot of time just making stuff for myself and for other people to watch and to be distracted by. I create because it gives me an opportunity to connect with people in a time when personal connection is quite literally out the window. And I'm not the only one.
I create because it gives me a sense of purpose and fulfillment during this really scary, anxiety-ridden time that is so quick to make you feel completely purposeless.
I create to spread happiness and laughter to other people.
Leave my cavern! The bears are fornicating!
Who is a professional corn shucker? That is impressive.
Hey!
I create because I wouldn't know what else to do with myself. If I were to lose my capacity to create things, if I were to not be able to do that anymore, I'm not sure what would happen to me. I would be losing a major part of my identity.
I create because I like to tell stories, and drawing helps me process my emotions. The goal is to get people to feel stuff or think about things they don't usually think about.
Blood and foam, and no one in her right mind would make my home her home.
Congratulations to all of tonight's winners. It is truly remarkable work. So I guess that makes the big winner the School of Communication and Media. Now more than ever, it is important for artists to keep creating art, spreading art, and supporting art. We are a part of history, and it's important to share our experiences to prevent feeling isolated. Truly, at the end of the day, we are all in this together. We especially want to thank the broadcast and media operations staff, SCM support staff, faculty, and administrators, and especially you, the talented and hardworking students of Red Hawk Nation. We hope you and your family stay safe and healthy during this incredible, difficult time, but nothing is permanent, and we will all see each other again soon. Thank you, everyone, and good night. I just wanted to say thank you so much to the students and faculty of the SPA Awards for having me host for the second year in a row. It's been such an honor, and I can't be more grateful for that. And a big shout out to the students and faculty of the School of Comm for inspiring me to pick up a comm minor last semester. It's been such a wonderful experience to add to my theater degree. And I wanted to give a big shout out to Stuart MacLelland. He bridged the gap between the theater department and the School of Comm, and has provided opportunities for myself and my friends in the theater department as well as providing a home for the Dirty Nine, the improv and comedy group in the theater department to perform. So thank you so much, Stuart, and for the students at the School of Comm that I've worked with. You guys are awesome, and I wish you all the best.
Hi, I'm Kristina Iacovone, and I'm one of the producers of SPA. Thank you everyone for watching. It's been an honor and pleasure working alongside Stuart, Gabby, Kyler, Jane, and Ashley. Thank you guys for making my senior year a great one. Thank you to Stuart MacLelland, Dave Sanders, Professor Gant, Professor Shankler, Guy Nicolucci, and the BMO staff for making my time at SEM a memorable one. Stay safe everybody, and I hope you enjoy the show.
Hi everybody, my name is Gabrielle Jones and I was one of the producers for this year's Scholar in Production Awards. I first wanted to say thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight and say congratulations to all of the winners. I also wanted to say a big thank you to the team that I worked with all year on this project, so Kyler, Kristina, Ashley, Jane, Professor Stuart MacLelland. I'm glad that given our circumstance we were able to overcome all of our obstacles and still put together a very awesome project. I'm definitely going to hold this experience and this project super close to my heart. I also wanted to say another thank you to Professor Stuart MacLelland for giving me the opportunity and believing in me and taking me under his wing and teaching me how to make good TV. So it's been a pleasure working with all of you, and I hope you all enjoyed the show.
Hi, my name is Weir. I'm an executive producer of the Scholar in Production Awards, and I would just like to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for watching and helping us celebrate these amazing students. I couldn't have had a better experience at Montclair State. From professors who have helped me to friends who have come and gone, I just had the best time, and I feel like I wouldn't have had it any other way. So again, thank you so much for everybody, for the professors, to students, just thank you, and I guess we'll see you down the road.
Hey everyone, it's Ashley Koutras, one of the producers. I wanted to say congratulations to all the winners tonight, and I wanted to say how proud I am of everyone involved. I'm so glad we still got to put on the production, and I'm so happy that everyone watched tonight. And I wanted to give a huge shout out to Stuart MacLelland, because you're the best, obviously. And of course, the senior producers that are leaving, you guys have taught me so much, and thank you for that. With that, stay safe, everyone, and good night.